Oh, go. Okay. Hi, everyone. I've prepared a few slides only just to sort of support some of what I'm saying kind of in the background. So some of them I'll just allow to flow, and then some I'll sort of pause and talk through a bit more detail. But yeah, thank you for joining us today. It's a bit of a sort of hopefully an inspiring topic about colour and how it can help you in your business, and sharing a little bit about how it's helped me actually as well, even though I'm a designer and I'm in the field helping people with the colour of their homes and also the design of them. So it's just a little bit and sort of an insight, but to share with you just a little bit about me and what gives me some sort of premise to talking about it today. As you know, I'm an interior designer in the area, and I actually worked in fashion before and also in art before that. So my background has really come up from sort of art education, sort of all the way through. And colour has been something that's been something I've always really embraced in my work from an early age. So from the early days of GCSE sort of art exhibitions, that there was always consistent feedback as to how colourful those things could be, and it's something that's always kind of flourished. And today I actually help people with deciding the colour for their homes. So when it comes to paint selections, in particular, I help people with that to actually make that refresh more simple, more easy, but also much more exciting and much more enlightening and aligned with who they are and who they'd like to be. But as a topic, it's something that extends, it goes into sort of refreshes of people's home, but also refreshes of actually people's thoughts around their own personality and what they'd like to actually introduce, what they'd like to change, and what they'd like to be in more alignment, really. This is just one example of how colour has gone into an interior design. So it's combined with technical skill that focuses on the drawings and layouts of someone's kitchen diner here. But it just kind of helps, it just sort of goes to show, I suppose, a little bit as to how things can connect. And that's very much the emphasis of the topic today, is actually how colour can connect with you and help you connect with others in your business. One of the fascinating things I've found is when a client of mine has made the change, actually how much reward is brought psychologically and sort of emotionally and physically. And it's been quite fascinating. In the sort of past 6 or 7 years when I've been working with people, it's sort of made me go out into the world beyond interiors and look at actually how it affects other industry. And business is one of them. It's a really fascinating fact I've just extracted here from Kissmetrics, where 85% of all purchase choices are influenced by colour. And I think it only echoes how visual we are as people when we embrace something new. So if we're looking for a new product, or we're looking for a new service, or we're gravitating towards some help of a kind, the visual elements of that help are really important, and colour is a massive one. And I suppose it kind of echoes as well a little bit in our natural world as to how, you know, very little of it is black and white. So it's something that as human beings and human design, we're actually really sort of more, it comes to us more naturally. It's something that we're naturally looking for. One of the things, though, that's really important when we're thinking about colour in our work and in sort of any growth going forward, is that actually it's not just about the colour itself, it's about the alignment. And this was another really fascinating fact I found, where actually it can really promote acceptance or rejection as well. So it's not just around, you know, being more colourful with what you do, it's actually about having the right colours for you and creating that right gravitational force with who you're working with and who you're trying to attract in your business. I hope this is sounding all right. Is this yeah okay. And it's a few things really. There's a little bit to think about. So when people ask me, well, Rhian, how can I take this on board? What can I do? And there's a few areas. I think some of the obvious ones would be things like your logo, your branding, but I think it also goes deeper than that. I think actually colour is more of a symbol than we know, actually, and that we possibly think of immediately. Colour is kind of connecting to the question in terms of your personality and how reflecting that can be. Colour can actually imply language. It can speak across cultures. People don't often realise that when sometimes language in the written word and the voice can be a barrier, a colour and a smile can actually go a long, long way. So language and tone can actually imply colours. It can support colours actually in communication, which often we don't think about as a first thought, but it's something that the mind processes often. And also in terms of the colour of your vision. So when we think about in business, whether we're small or medium or a large enterprise, when we think about our vision for our business, often it's the visual elements of that that scream a colour, that actually show us what vision we really want to have, whether it's something, you know, more natural, whether it's something more neon, doesn't necessarily matter, but it's implying that colour and it's making us think about possibly the elements deconstructed that we want to employ and we want to take forward and do more work on. And of course, the colour of our people. Now, a subjective topic, because I appreciate literally that can imply other things to do with literally the colour of someone's skin, but it's not about that. It's about your spirit, and it's about actually what colour are you communicating actually with your spirit. And you'll notice, well, I noticed anyway, making a note of actually some of what the group have said in terms of their colours of their personality. It really varies. And it's really quite an eye-opener when we think about one-on-one working with clients who perhaps are a complementary coloured spirit to ourselves, or those who are actually in a team and we're trying to make growth within a team and we're trying to encourage and educate and motivate a team going forward. And I'm going to share with you another slide. So in business, where I look at it from is that colour can be a tool to really support the communication of who you are, what you do, why you do it, and how you can help other people. And it's really important, I think, to actually break it down in that way, because it does actually reflect a lot and actually give you some good food for thought. Who you are is where it starts. But what you do and why you do it and how you can help other people is what ultimately is making that alignment with other people to come to you in business. So it's about a marriage of all of those elements. And this is just one slide, one image I've extracted from Pinterest, and there's a lot on there. So do feel free to have, you know, a good look if it's a topic that interests you. But when we think about colours in business that really work, it's about the why as well as what help we're actually offering. So the why we're in business, as well as actually what we're here to serve other people. And I appreciate that can be service or product. I know most of us work in a service field, but it can apply to both. And in this particular example, you know, where elements such as sort of colours, such as like the blue or the purple that we've identified within the group, there are clear elements of practices where they really fall into alignment. So blue being actually a colour synonymous with calm, but also synonymous with trust. So in corporate businesses, perhaps that are more of a medical field, it sounds so obvious, or a field that's perhaps a bit more holistic, that still needs that tranquility and that trust. That is something.
You've got 1 minute, Rhian.
Oh, thank you. God, it goes quick, doesn't it? But this slide breaks it down also into the more vibrant colours as well. So where we need more energy and enthusiasm, the warmer tones such as sort of oranges and reds can actually really help us to vocalise that in much more of our spirit. But as I say, it starts with you. And that's something on a personal perspective I've really reflected on in my business, because I didn't actually realise actually how much of myself was actually in what I do. It sounds so silly, but it's true. And actually, the more you can identify with where you sit on the colour wheel in terms of your personality, the more you can create that alignment and allow more to fall into place. it might not be so visible on here, but what I tried to do was draw some lines on this colour wheel. For me, I sort of sit within the greens and yellows. I'll be honest, I'm a bit the same in terms of, possibly a couple of colours. But actually, when I apply some colour theory from design, there's a way and there's a reason why actually around there really works for me. And some of it's personal and some of it's not. Some of it's very much professional. I use a lot of intuition in my work. So actually opposing colours on the other side of the wheel really help me to work with my clients and actually create more of a vision for my clients that comes from within. And at the same token, actually creating an outcome that's more enlightening for them and actually takes them to that next level is something that very much is about me in that process. I hope it's given just a bit of food for thought. It's a topic that can be talked about for so much longer than 10 minutes. I hope it helps.